My name's Christelle, and I decided that this year I was going to do the mid-year book freakout tag. I comment on a lot of videos and on Goodreads, but I never do any videos, and I thought, why not? I wanted to do it. I want to talk about books, and hopefully somebody will comment and we can nerd out over some of these. So the first question is, what's the best book that you've read so far? Queen of the Tearling by Erika Johansen. I just really love this story. It's so dark, it's fast-paced, and it's got my favorite character in it of all time right now, which we'll get to that. What has been your favorite sequel so far? Assassin's Quest, Robin Hobb. This book is so good. And there's like sadness in it, but then like you're so happy for a certain character, and Fitz just being on this journey, and the end of this book is so awesome. I cannot wait to read the live ship Traders. I believe is the second trilogy in this. I have it up here. Sorry. All right. Is there a new release that you haven't read yet but you're really excited for? Spin the Dawn by Elizabeth Lim. I like a good seamstress magic situation. Just sounds awesome. Let's see. What is the most anticipated release for the second half of the year? That would be Over the Wayward Wall by Deborah A. Baker, also known as Shauna McGuire, and also known as Mira Grant. It's if you read Middle Game, there's like little stories before the chapters, and so this is gonna be that story of those little stories that you're following in it. And I'm hoping that we get to see the world, because in Middle Game we really just built to not get to see it really, and I'm hoping that's what's gonna happen. We'll see. What is your biggest disappointment so far? And that would be Firborne. I read it because it said Red Rising with dragons. It definitely was not. I am a huge Red Rising fan. And so if you're going to put that in there, I'm going to read it. And it was very high school, dual perspective. And just not, I'm 34. So sometimes YA can feel adult, and this one just was definitely like lower tier, but I recommend it for people who like dragons and who are in high school, and I'm gonna pass it on to a teen. See, what is your biggest surprise so far? And that was The House of Salt and Sorrow. Man, that book was like creepy, awesome vibes. I did not expect it to be that awesome, but it really was. Read it in the fall and winter if you pick it up. No, that's not the question. Who is your favorite new to you or debut author? And that's Katie Wismer. Is that how you say that? She has a YouTube channel, and she wrote the book The Anti-Virginity Pact. It just came out June 16th. I got to read it on NetGalley, because when she posted that it was on there, I was like, oh, I'm going to try my luck. It was so good. Not at all was I expecting it to be as dark. She said it was going to be dark, but I was thinking YA, I mean, how dark are we talking? It was so dark. I cringed so many times. And her writing's phenomenal. It was fast-paced. It didn't lag. She knows what she's doing because she edits stuff for people all the time because she's a beta reader. That's what she went to school for, to be a writer and edit things. Like, she's so good. And she uses commas. you know? Who is your favorite fictional crush from this year? That's Altair, I think is how you say that, from We Hunt the Flame by Hafsah Fazial. This book is amazing, and he is so funny. I thought in the beginning, I was like, I'm gonna hate this dude, but man, he cracked me up so much, and I was into it. The audiobook is narrated by Steve West, who's just bomb. He did the audiobook for Strange the Dreamer, Crown's Game, Fate. Gosh, there's so... I don't know why I can't remember all of them, but if you Google him, he does like all these great books, and he just made me fall in love with him even more. He's so fun. I like quirky, sarcastic people. Who is your new favorite character? That would be Mace Lazarus from the Tearling books. It's so good. He's so good. He's such a badass. Great banter, great sarcasm. I cannot wait for the 4th book to come out. She announced it now, I think it's like 3 weeks ago, that the 4th book is going to be Mace's story and how he gets out of the crash. I am here for it. A book that made you cry, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. That book is so good. It's so good. Trigger warning, though, for child molestation, and just hate. People were just so mean to him, but I also child molestation. It's just awful. But like in this book, he forgives them and talks about why he had such a supportive family, and that it made me cry so hard. And there's like so many people that need to hear that. And I don't know about you, but if you've been reading a lot of these memoirs and stuff like that, it's just child molestation over and over and over again. It's like, what is wrong with these people? And I'm a mom, and so it's just too much. But he has so many wonderful, wise words in the story, and I feel like it would be so helpful for a lot of people, because he's been through it, and it's awesome. A book that made you happy, Kings of the Wyld. It's like a Spinal Tap fantasy by Nicholas Eames. It's so good. Every chapter, hilarious. I laughed out loud the whole time. But not so much Bloody Rose. Like, I'm into it, but just purely for fantasy. The banter in this, I've laughed a couple times, but this to me is more traditional quest fantasy. I really want Nicholas, like after he's done with this series, because I don't know what the 3rd book is going to be about, but I'd love him to do the prequel of like the battles of these guys, saga. The banter would be so good, and you actually get to see like blow by blow on all these different quests that they went on. It would be everything. Let's see. Your favorite book to movie, TV show that you've seen so far? I would put Ready Player One and Ender's Game in that. I love Ender's Game so much. And Ready Player One was awesome. Not like the book. They're like almost 2 separate entities for me. I know Spielberg had a lot to do with that, and that's fine. The movie was still good, but like War Games is one of my favorite movies, and it was like a big part of the book. Like all the 80s stuff, I was so into it, and I was hoping it still had a lot of that in there. There were just some things that I love so much from the book that they didn't put in the movie, but here nor there. Ender's Game, Ready Player One. What is the most beautiful book that you have bought? I love this cover so much. Jasper Fforde, Shades of Grey. And his writing is so bizarre, and he's got the best puns I've ever read. And I like that he doesn't follow any rules, and I've just never read anything like his work. I've read 5 of his books. I'm not huge into the Thursday Next books. I read the first one. It's not really my vibe. And I know all of his books are similarly, how can I say it? Similarly, sorry, formatted, but the stories are so different. But yeah, this cover, I finally found this, so that one's my favorite. What are 6 books that you want to read by the end of the year? The Memory of Babel by Christelle Dabos. I hope I said that right. She's a French author who writes the Mirror Visitor series. The Winter's Promise and The Missing of the Claire de Lune. It's so good. If you read it, you know it's amazing. I wish I could read French because the 3rd and 4th book are already out, but I have to wait for the translated edition. The Faithless Hawk, which is the sequel to A Merciful Crow by Margaret Owen. It comes out in like 3 weeks, I think, July 28th. The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I love the Broken Earth trilogy. I liked her short Emergency Skin. I haven't is it the Inheritance trilogy? I haven't went there yet, but I might pick that up this fall. From what I've seen of reviews, it might not be the book for me, but I'll probably give it a try. But I'm very excited about The City We Became. Mexican Gothic by Silvia Moreno-Garica. I'm going to read it in the fall. Haunted house vibes. This house really likes this woman. She moves in with her cousin, and she's staying there, and all these things are happening. So interested. The Constant Rabbit by Jasper Fforde. Apparently there's bunnies everywhere with humans, like it's present day England, but there's like a bunny village, so kind of like Zootopia-ish. I'm interested. We Free the Stars, which is the sequel to We Hunt the Flame. It keeps getting pushed back, so I'm hoping that it comes out this year. I have it pre-ordered, but the dates of some of these books have been changing. And Star Daughter sounds so cool. It's about a half-star who's going to go save her father. And it's by Shveta Takrar. I watched an interview with her, and it was very interesting how she was talking about how she wanted her book to be like super family oriented, and how a lot of books like YA specifically, the parents are either not there and the kids are just running around everywhere, and you're like, where are these kids' parents? Or they're just like terrible parents. I really like family oriented stuff, like Keepers of the Lost Cities. I cry so much. Like it takes a lot for me to cry, but the girl in that book, for some reason I can't remember, it's like way behind there, her parents are so supportive. Like they adopted her and they love her so much, and they're just always there. I bawl. like a baby. It's perfection. I can't wait to get back to those in the fall. So that's it, and I hope you enjoyed this. I just wanted to participate, and maybe I'll make another video sometime.